Grand Rising. Happy Friday, everyone. It's Kiera, and I am here with a quick message. So this morning, as I'm listening to my podcast, as I'm getting ready, I said, what can I talk about today? And I said, let's talk about perception and perceiving. That's one thing that the perception of things for me is one thing that I feel like what keeps me going. Perceiving and then perception. So I'm a person that may go through some things, may go through a lot of things to other people. But to me, it's not a lot, or maybe I have not sit to think like, oh my goodness, this is a lot, because I perceive it in a different way. Example, they say that everybody goes through suffering. I believe that we all go through some type of suffering, but looking at it from that perception, and I'm talking about me perceiving it from and maybe I'm just looking at the word suffering and the feeling of suffering. I'm like, okay, I guess you could say that was my suffering, but I don't perceive it like that. That's not my perception of it. Being 14 and pregnant, some might say, oh, she suffered as a child. That wasn't I didn't perceive it like that. That was not my perception of that. My perception of that was, okay, I got pregnant at 14, had my son at 15. It taught me a lot of what I know now. I brought this other human in the world to love this human and to help this human along their journey as well. I just don't perceive it as I went through suffering. I perceive it as a lesson. It was something that I got out of me being pregnant at 14. So I do that in my life in general. And maybe that is why when you perceive things from a different perspective, from a different perception, you are able to, I want to say, see things in a more positive aspect. I think a lot of people who see themselves as, no shade, but always walk around like, oh my God, I'm suffering. This is that. Like, they find a problem in everything that they go through. So if you always find the problem in everything that you go through, more problems are going to arise because you're looking at it as a problem. You're perceiving it as to be a problem. And that is your perception that what you're going through is a problem or issue. But if you change your perception of things, then it will no longer be, I have all of these problems and these issues. It will be, I'm going through this. Let me recognize the pattern of how I got here. If there is a pattern, let me perceive it this way, and that's going to change my perception. So with that being said, we have to change our perception of the life that we live. Because if you always perceive it one way, then it's going to manifest in this way. But if you perceive it in this way, your perception is going to change of the way that your life is going. So that's all I wanted to come on here and talk about this morning. Peace and blessings. I love you all. Everybody have an awesome weekend.